Hello guys, this is going to be a really long video. Might have a baby whining in the background, not even sure I'm going to be able to release it, but if it's not too bad, I'll go ahead and release it. So without further ado, I'm going to get into it. It's going to be a lot of tips. I have 25 beginner tips to Elder Scrolls Legends. Some of them are really geared toward beginners, some of them are a little intermediate, but you'll probably pick them up if you play more. But I'm going to go ahead and get into it. Number 1, Miraak the Dragonborn. When he steals a card, it does not summon it, so it will not activate summon text. So if a card has, like, whenever it's summoned, deal 2 damage, and you Miraak to steal it, you're not actually summoning that card, you're stealing it, and therefore it'll even take it if it's like a 2-1 after it's a 2-2, it'll take it as a 2-1, so you're not actually summoning a vanilla statted minion. So when you steal a card with Miraak, you're not actually summoning it, therefore you will not get summon activation. Some people didn't know that, there you go. Number 2, silencing card puts it back to vanilla stats, as well as removes weapons. So if you do have weapons equipped to a card and they silence it, they're gone, okay? Every one of them. Even if there's 5 weapons, 7 weapons, they're all gone. It sounds, no matter what kind of buffs it has, they're all gone, except for if it's a support buff, which is ongoing. 3, playing a card that summons another card, such as Northpoint, with the O4 guard, as long as the text doesn't read out as, in this lane will summon, as long as it doesn't read out that it will summon it into the specific lane that you played it in, it can summon to the other lane. So if you have 3 minions in a lane and then you play Northpoint, I forgot his last name, it's like Guard or Champion or something like that, and if you play him into that lane, his O4 guard will go to the other lane. Just some people didn't know that. 4, if you transform a minion while it has cover, it will still have cover. However, if you transform a minion when it does not have cover, it will not have cover when transformed. Such as if you Mummify a card or Wabbajack a card, stuff like that. If you use it on the card, Mummify is probably the more realistic option, but if you use it on a card, then it will gain cover if it already had cover, but if it's, say, like already attacked and it doesn't have cover in the cover lane and you transform it then it will not have cover. 5, sorry. You get new quests when you get a title for a guild, such as 3 win milestones. As that said, I'm sorry, my script's pretty bad, but as that said, guild will notice you, and give you a special bonus quest each time. So like in your titles you have quests like get 3 wins as this guild, 3 wins as this guild. Once you do that and hit that milestone, you will get a new bonus quest to be like, we noticed you, we want you to do this for us. And then once you get the 10 win milestone with that guild, you'll get another bonus quest. Once you get, I think it's 30 and then 50, the same thing happens. So that's how you get your bonus quest for that guild. It's pretty cool. Number 6. You can get 7 wins in max in arena versus arena and 9 in solo arena. You also get paid promotion gold every time you promote in a rank of either arena. 7 wins in arena gets you around 200 gold, 3 packs, and 300 souls on average. 8. You can change your avatar, reroll quest, and look at max wins and rank season rewards in your profile at title screen bottom left. So when you first go into the game, you have a thing where you can click play, open pack, stuff like that. In your bottom left, you have a little portrait. Just click on it, and when you click on it, you go to your profile, and everything's there. Just click around and find it. 9. You can delete decks with one button by clicking top right on a deck in the portrait, then the giant red button saying delete deck. So when you're in your create deck screen, top right, click on it. It's like where you can put the name of the deck, but don't put the name of the deck. Just click on that to change the picture of it, and it'll have a delete deck button. Just it's huge. It's red, and just click it, and it deletes the deck. A lot of people don't know that. Number 10. A lot of time you can play a weak minion into a shadow lane to bait on an enemy playing a good trade, then playing a guard to deny that said trade and play from ahead. So if you have like a 1-3 5th Legion trainer and you have the 2-3, I forgot what he's called, but the guard guy, you can play the 5th Legion trainer into the shadow lane, and then they'll play a card they'll trade into her easily, and then you play the guard, and then they trade a bad trade most likely. 11. When destroying runes, try to decide if it's worth it, such as if the enemy needs cards or not at the moment, or if you have lethal anyways, etc., as well as the attack first before summoning minions, so they have less stuff to play around, as well as less info on the board. Pretty much summed it up pretty well in the script there. Just don't attack the runes if there's no reason to at all. Like if you already have lethal on the board, no reason to. If they have no cards at all and you're way ahead on board, there's no reason to attack and give them a chance to come back. Number 12. Try to run as much cycle and card draw as you can in your deck at all times. Lower ranks, a lot of people don't know this, and having cards and options is a massive advantage. I see all the time when people are first going into this game, they complain about they're always top decking, but then they have no cycle, which cycle means play a card, draw 1 card attached to it. and or card draw in their deck, and then it leads to where they have 0 cards, and yeah, you're just gonna lose that way, guys. Just try to run some card draw at the very least and fit it into your deck. I know you're giving up stats for it, but it's well worth it in the long run, trust me, and it'll get you at least probably to rank 5 just doing that alone. So far in this game, I would honestly argue it would. Okay, I'm scrolling down a little bit. Number 13, play the deck that you think looks cool, as you will be more inclined to learn it and grind with it rather than a good, quote-unquote, deck you don't like playing. If it looks cool, you're going to want to play it more, you're going to want to learn it more. Period. Don't just net deck. Find a deck you think looks cool and plays fun, and just enjoy yourself. I mean, if you're not having fun, don't play the game. Number 14, every 3 wins in ranked, you get some gold and a random card or possibly a card back. So basically, every 3 wins in ranked mode, you will get, and it doesn't have to be in a row, you will get either a rare card, an epic card, or a legendary card, or a card pack, and you'll get typically like 15 to 30-ish gold. But it can be random anywhere in there. 15. It counts as summoning in this game if you special summon, such as Night Talon Lord or Wismother, copying them. So if you like play a card that copies another card, then it will count as that summoning that card. So you can, if you have 2 summon abilities and you play and it copies that summon ability, and then it'll actually use your summon ability twice, such as a Harpy with the Wismother. If you play her, then she'll summon twice, and you can shackle someone twice. Okay, with both, once with both Harpies. 16. You want both lanes to have equal power, so neither can be easily dealt with, and hard dealing with one isn't devastating for you. Basically, you want, if one of your lanes has 4 guys in it and your other lane you're not playing anything, you might want to rethink that play and put one guy into your other lane with really strong stats. And the reason why is because you don't want it to be devastating if they clear that lane, and also you want both your lanes to be really hard to deal with for them anyways. Number 17, you want to throw massive statted minions into the left lane for free trades, and lower statted minions into the right lane, typically so they don't get free trades on you. So basically, left lane you can trade instantly, like the next turn. It's kind of like a Hearthstone lane in a sense, where like there's nothing special about it. So you want to play really high statted minions there just to get free trades in. It's going to be hard for them to deal with your really high statted minions. Whereas the right lane, you want to put minions that are weaker more so. That way you can play them there, and it's really hard for them to deal with without actions and such. And it gives you time to put a guard up to protect them even more. Number 18. Murkwater Witch and all curse cards count as damaging a minion. So if you're playing like Finish Off or something like that, and you happen to have a minion damaged, or I mean cursed, it still counts as damaging it, so you can use those on it. It does activate. Number 19. If a card says draws random cards, it doesn't mean from your deck. It literally means random cards from the game. But it is limited to all items so far, or all actions and such. So basically, if it says like Plunder or the 1/3/2 guy for 3 and Intelligence, if it says literally random action or random items, and it doesn't say from your deck or graveyard, it will draw a random card. It's not from your deck. So Plunder, yes, is a very good card. Play that card when you're starting out. Number 20. Ungolem the Listener's Assassins are 1 Magicka 3/3s with lethal and draw a card attached to them. You can see this by hovering over him in your collection, which you can even see cards you do not have by clicking bottom right Soul Gems. A lot of people don't know this. Basically, when you're in your collection, click on the Soul Gem in the bottom right, and it'll show cards you don't even have yet. Number 21. Gerald Forger and Scuttler, among other starter cards, are not. It seems to they seem to not be attainable by packs or an arena. They seem to be purely for beginner sets. So these really weak cards that have no good stats at all, don't worry. So far, I've never seen one in arena, and I've never seen one come from a pack. 22. Try to ask the Discord for help, and players in general do not blame cards or RNG for your losses. Record yourself if can, and watch and pretend to make fun of a bronze player or a bad player. Don't look at it as yourself. Improve that way. Look for small things that could have cost you the game. So basically, there was a game a long time ago where I played Moroccan, and I played around Odahviing because I had a huge board, and I played around Odahviing by playing Shadowfen Destroys Magicka Pot, and I played Night Talon Lord the same turn. Issue is, while I played around Odahviing, I did not play around Miraak. So, sorry, I played Shadowfen, actually. I didn't play Night Talon Lord, but I played Night Talon Lex, and it played right into Miraak, and he stole my Night Talon Lord, and I had Mummify for it, but it was a huge devastating play, and that small mistake actually cost me a lot, and I realize now to not play around Odahviing as much as I did, and it was probably worth it to save the Shadowfen anyways. I got a little antsy there, and I jumped it, and that's one mistake I noticed because I watched my replay. Number 21, or sorry. Number 23. Blood Magic Lord can summon a 5/5 for 2 Magicka Gargoyle with Guard. A Raise Dead card, 2 Magicka, raise 1 undead from both of your graveyards, which just means someone that's dead. A card that's dead, a minion. Can draw Drain Life, 2 Magicka, heal for 5, deal 5 damage to the enemy face only. Or 2 Magicka, shackle all enemy minions. And that's all the ones known about. There might be more, but no one's ever seen them yet, apparently. So that's the stuff that Blood Magic Lord, which is a really strong legendary, can draw for you, basically. It doesn't tell you that, so there you go. Number 24, try not to overbuff one guy. Spread out buffs when you can. You don't want one guy to just be silenced and you lose your game. Try to spread out your buffs as best as you can, so that way it's harder for them to deal with, just like the lane thing. 25, try to proc Last Grasp on your turn rather than the enemy, so they can't play around it as much. Basically, if you have a Last Grasp deal 3 damage, like the Dark Ashlander, you don't want to let them play around it, like summon more minions that are really weak or tokens or something to have a better chance at playing around it and such. You'd rather prop that on your turn to make sure it hits something, okay? Alright guys, I have a few other videos. I have some small tips in them, so I'm not going to get into things like what race to pick. I'm sure I left out some of the tips, but I feel like this is a very solid tips for beginners, and hope you learned something, and I hope this helps out so you don't have to always ask these questions. And a lot of people ask these questions every single day, so hopefully it'll answer for a lot of you, and you won't have to constantly ask these questions when a lot of people hear them all the time. Have a great day, great night, wherever you're from. It's my good friend Shomo say, and I love you all.